You're listening to the right episode. If you want to hear what a loan officer is doing to thrive in today's marketplace, I'm excited about today's episode. I'm your host, Steve Kiles, and this is the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And you're in for a treat today. I'm just really excited to connect with Tyler. He is a Freedom Club member. And you know what we're doing is over these next few episodes, I thought, wow, we've been talking about the daily success plan. We've been talking about, I know back in January, the first part of the year, we were talking about, okay, making sure that we focus on what moves the needle the most and what matters most. And it's qualified agents, it's relationships, it's the Focus 40, it's doing the right activity and focusing on the 20% that gives us 80% of our results. And what's really cool about Tyler is that in January, and I think, and I'm going to, you'll say something, but I just want to tell our audience in our community, back in January, you did 4 transactions. And listen, I know in the industry, it was tough for everybody. There were a lot of people doing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You did 4 in January, and this last month in April, you funded 14 for $4.4 million. And what I think is powerful is in a 90-day ramp up, you came to a boot camp. That's where I met you and Kayla just a few months. What was that, in February, I think?
Yeah.
We were at a boot camp together, spent 2 days, and in short order have been tweaking your business to go from 4 in January to 14 funded for $4.4 million in April. And I thought, man, let's just talk about that. Let's talk about your journey as a loan officer. So Tyler, it's great to have you. Welcome to the podcast, my man.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
Dude, I'm excited to have you. You're a great loan officer, and it's been fun to watch what you're doing. It's people think it's instant success. It's not instant success. However, it's focused effort. So tell our listeners, Tyler, tell us about your story. How long you've been a loan officer? You joined the Freedom Club here about a year ago, came to a boot camp in February, just a few months back, implemented portions of the plan and have seen big results. So talk to us.
Yeah, definitely. No, and appreciate you having me, Steve. So my story is kind of like everybody's, at least that I talk to, is where I never planned to be a loan officer. Kind of just happened. So, I went to the military, went to the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 6 years. While I was there, I went to KU, that's the University of Kansas, got my engineering degree. Really, I only got that degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And everybody said it was a safe, secure job. Long story short, things worked out to where I just absolutely hated it. Did not like sitting in front of a computer from 8 to 5, clocking in, clocking out, and repeating. So by chance, one of my buddies from high school introduced me to, his pay stub. And that's kind of where I fell into the mortgage business about 5 years ago. From there, I went to the online sector, which this might be pretty eye-opening for some of the listeners that are kind of struggling right now. I was a call center loan officer, which I did pretty well up until last January. Right.
Yeah.
When I joined the Freedom Club. So I've really only been a retail loan officer for a little over 12 months now. And
Wow.
And here I am, I'm very happy where we are, but I also I struggle pretty badly with imposter syndrome. And I think that's what keeps me grinding as hard as I do.
Yeah.
I never get complacent because of that.
Yeah. Well, man, I love that. And to see, hey, let me ask you this. So you joined the Freedom Club a year ago, which really means you go from a call center to becoming retail, and you start doing, what are the things you're focusing on a year ago that began to lay the groundwork? Because there's things you can do that give you a fast 90-day result, but really it takes a little bit of time. What are some of the things you had to focus on? What were the activities like? What began to lay a foundation for you to have the growth that you're having, man? It's significant. It's a big deal.
For sure. No, I appreciate that. I have to start off right now giving credit to my beautiful fiance, Kayla. Being an engineer by degree, my mind just works a little differently. Just like Carl White says, I'm an extroverted introvert. Going to my first two Freedom Club events, I really tried to digest everything. And for the first 6 to 8 months last year, up until when I brought Kayla on in like May, June, July timeframe, I was just trying to do everything. Literally everything. I took notes on to a T, recorded the meetings, and tried to implement every single thing I could,
Yeah.
all while keeping up to the DSP. Long story short, I don't feel like I'm a small talk kind of guy. I
Yeah.
realize what my weaknesses are very early, and that's, cold calling realtors, trying to get meetings and trying to small talk on why they should use me.
Yeah.
So not saying I don't do it. I still do it, but bringing Kayla on by far was the thing that moved the needle the most, because realizing what my weaknesses are early
Yeah.
on.
I love that. So, and look, man, partnerships are great because when you recognize what you're good at and what somebody else is good at, we talked about it this morning on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. For anybody, if it's your first time, we do a morning show. Frank Gray leads it, and Carl, myself, Kristen, Frank, jump on a call with several hundred loan officers Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 9 a.m. Eastern. If you want to know more about that, just go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. It's free. It's our gift to the industry. But Tyler, we were talking about that. This morning, you've got to keep the sales engine moving. And what we have is at the Marketing Animals, the daily success plan. It's what we do on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And what happens is you got to have somebody, if it's not you, pushing on the sales engine, because we all thought we're just loan officers. We're not loan officers. We're actually marketers. It's marketing that brings in the deals, which are the outbound activity, the calls that make the biggest impact. Somebody's got to be doing that. As the business is coming in, somebody's got to take care of the business that comes in. And so oftentimes it's a single loan officer that has to wear both hats till they fund enough they can make their first hire. So I love that, man. So being able to bring Kayla in has really given you the ability to have somebody focused on the sales activity.
Definitely. Yeah. And to go into that a little further, by far, I do not know how anybody can do this business all alone. As an online lender, we're told that we do everything up until we submit the loan to processing.
Yeah.
And that is the mindset that I had up until, not only about 6 to 8 months ago, when I decided, it takes a team to really, to move the needle as much as you want to. I don't know that I couldn't be where I am without having a team surrounding me. That helps me succeed. There's just no way. Well, and on that note, I don't know why agents would want to work with loan officers that don't have a team around them, because I see the value we're providing. Having more than one person do everything, and it's just above and beyond what I can do.
And Tyler, what I love about that is this. Look, there's a season as a loan officer, as your business is growing, you got to just push. And then once you get enough money to make your first hire to help lift with you, I love what Carl always says, put a few dollars in my pocket, put a few dollars in my business. And really, it's the addition of a team member that gives you the additional leverage and bandwidth to keep growing. Hey, and while you're saying that, if you're listening today and you say, hey, I'd love to know what a first hire looks like. Who do I hire? What do they do? What's the matrix? Go to freedomplanningcall.com. And myself, Kristen, Frank, our team, one of us will jump on a call and we'll actually literally pull it up. You can screenshot it. I mean, we'll show you exactly what the team would look like, because we've helped map that out. So freedomplanningcall.com, just while you said it, I thought, man, let's do an active coolness. We'll give it to you. freedomplanningcall.com. So, hey, let me ask you this. So let's hone in and dial in, Tyler, to January, February, March, and April. January, you close 4 units a month. What do you, and then I know you go to the boot camp in February. What activities are you dialing in to go from 4 to 14 over the next 90 days? What did you laser focus on? Like, what helped you do that quickly?
Yeah. So ever since then, when Kayla came on board, and let me back a little bit, she came on part-time back in May. So when you talk about slowly hiring those pieces, she was part-time until January, February this year, when we finally were able to have her leave the nursing field, which grateful for everything they do, but something about her just being in that field draining for our family and for her. So this could have been a better time where she came on. Now, that being said, I think the best thing that moved the needle the most was kind of nervously signing that contract. I think it was in Nashville to join the Call Stars. And something about being on the call with 100 different people, I think, or 75, whatever it is, every morning, Monday through Thursday for 90 days. That probably, as much as I don't want to give that shameless, as much as I don't want to sound like I'm selling people, that moved the needle the most. I mean,
Hey,
the numbers just.
No, well, but just listen, you're not selling. Here's the thing. The reason why you're on is results.
Yeah.
Results in our community wants to know, okay, what's moving the needle the most? Hey, for the people that are listening and they weren't at Freedom Club, which was our Freedom Club event, which a mastermind we hold a couple times a year for all of our coaching members. Hey, talk about, what are you talking about? A contract, call stars. What is that? Because I think what you just said is something that's really important. We need to talk about it. So what do you mean call stars? What contract? Tell them what happened or what you did.
Yeah, so essentially it's accountability. It's I think the contract, gratefully, neither me or Kayla
Yeah.
had to pay the money because we
Yeah.
were committed
Yeah.
to it and stayed on the calls every day, no matter what. But I think it was for every
Well,
Monday.
no, I mean, here, so hold on. Let me roll
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out this way. So Carl got up and said, "Hey, listen, we want to help hold you accountable to making calls." So at the Freedom Club event, we rolled out an opportunity to sign a contract of accountability saying, I'm going to show up 2 hours Monday through Thursday, and I'm going to make 2 hours of outbound prospecting calls. And I'm going to jump on a Zoom call with everybody else who signed this contract, who is saying, I want to be held accountable for what moves the needle the most. And that was back in November, and you did it.
Oh yeah.
And
We
if you
both
didn't show up, there was there was some things, like it was really accountability to showing up to these calls, and you committed for 90 days to show up Monday through Thursday.
right.
And you're saying that that's probably what helped you move the needle the most back in November, because it started kind of a process.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to deny it. I mean, the numbers, the time frame just works out perfectly. By far, I believe that is what moved it.
Yeah. So you're making these calls. You're making your Monday calls. You're talking to your Thor's Hammer, your agents, your Focus 40. You're doing your Tuesday Just Ask. You're doing your Wednesday database, Thursday pre-approved and looking. And so you start that in December? Like that was at the end of November.
Yeah.
So you did it December and through January. And that's where your numbers started increasing, especially into February, March, and April.
Right. Right.
Wow. Hey, well, okay. So talk to me about, you're making the calls. What kind of success are you seeing? What's happening?
Yeah. So how me and Kayla work it out is she's doing she's calling agents nonstop. I mean,
Yeah.
those are her.
Focus 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Catering to all the agents we work with, trying to provide the best service possible, and
Yeah.
trying to meet with new agents anytime she can, whether it's referrals from other agents or just from her doing the Thor's Hammer.
Yep.
I'm still right now, as of today, doing the Tuesday and Thursday calls, which Tuesday is calling all the people, all the clients, co-borrowers, both agents in the transaction, title company, insurance agents. Just give them a quick update, asking them for the business.
I like it.
And I'm doing Thursday calls as well, which this is eating into my Thursday call time, Steve.
We're going to be quick. So,
okay. Thursday calls I'm doing we're calling our pre-approved and looking clients.
yeah.
Touching them, making sure they're getting excited for the weekend, doing all the stuff that they preach in the Freedom Club. I don't know if you want me to elaborate on that.
I mean, you know what? It's just to be candid to our listeners before we got on. I don't always go deep because I like to hear it on the podcast. Yeah. And man, I'm just, it's so funny when you talk about call stars being the thing that moved the needle the most. Hey Tyler, Carl and I were talking about this yesterday. It came up. There were two things. It came up like, hey, what's the one thing? Like if you just had to tell everybody one thing, I can only say one thing to this industry that we're watching move the needle. Because Tyler, I'm thinking about Tony, and I look at our numbers for our Freedom Club members. Carl and I get them every month. Tony did 3 in January, 6 in February, 7 in March, and bumped up like double digits, 20-ish. In April. You did the same thing, from 4 to 14, from 0 to 11, and I literally am looking at this list of names from 5 to 10, from 4 to 19, from 8 to 15, from 1 to 8. And I'm looking at all these numbers, and what I'm just blown away with is, here's the question, Tyler, what's the one thing? And you just said it, it's call stars. It's making that consistent outbound call. Hey, and when you're making the calls, talk to me about this. How do you fight through? Because when you started in late November, 1st December, what'd you think? I mean, was it easy, or did you have call reluctance? What is y'all's plan on that? Like how did you push past the rejection, the no's?
Yeah, I think gamifying it, kind of like what they talked about at the Puerto Rico Freedom Club event. I think that is huge, because if you, I have call reluctance, and it's hard to think that I do when I come from an online lead sector where I'm calling 200-300 people a day. But
Yeah.
something different about calling real estate agents that just gets the nerves going. But I mean, it's scary. I'll be honest. I'm still scared to this day to make those agent calls.
Wow.
Think about, hey, it really takes. If I get 7 no's today and only 2 or 3 yeses, 8 hours of calls a week can provide a very good living. And like you guys say, what moves the needle the most is making the calls, and you can make a lot of money in this business by making 8 hours of calls a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's keeping that mindset is really what keeps me
Hey,
going.
how do you show up when you don't feel like it? What keeps you accountable? You wake in, you say, dude, I'm nervous. I don't want to make my calls. How do you keep going?
Yeah, putting on the Tammy Saul video that just do it. So if nobody's watched that video, you put that video on and that just gets the blood going. And ever since she showed that, I've absolutely fell in love with it. And that it's hard not to go just make those calls. It's 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Not even 2 hours a day. It's 8 hours a week.
Yeah. Hey, and for the backstory at the Freedom Club event, Tammy Saul showed a video. What was his name? What's his name? The Just Do It. It's what's his name? If you type in YouTube, Just Do It, it'll come up, and it was a 1989 broadcast, and he's a speaker in front of a big audience, and he gave this, like, they cut out like 6-minute speech on Just Do It. Find his name. Like I'm trying to think of his name, but what a great encouragement.
Art Williams.
Yeah, Art Williams. That's it.
It's like the Williams number 3-1 when you Google Just Do It.
Oh yeah, it's huge. So you need some motivation. Do the Just Do It. So
yeah.
Hey, and for our listeners too, if you're listening today and you say, man, I'd love to know the plan that Tyler's following. What do you mean by the daily success plan? Or even, hey, how do I build a team the right way? How do I do the right activity, get enough business that I can make my first team member hire? Go to freedomplanningcall.com. We'll help you. We'll show you the plan. We'll give you the plan. We'll walk you through it. It's our gift to you. Myself, Kristen, Frank, one of us. I mean, we'll jump on a call. I'd love to help you. So freedomplanningcall.com. Hey, okay, so let's do this. You're talking to, man, a great group of LO community here. What would be your encouragement to them as many of them are working to grow their business? As your business has grown, that's what we're seeing a lot of. January was tough for people, February, and they're saying, man, I'm working to grow my business. Some days I feel like showing up, some days I don't. How do I continue to see the success? What would you encourage them to do?
Yeah, I mean, you got to surround yourself with the people that are doing what you want to do. And I think, at first to join the Freedom Club, I was hesitant. I was scared to pay the money each month and commit to it. Yeah. But by far, if I didn't, I don't know where I'd be today. I might not even be in the mortgage business. Who knows? I'd probably go back to the online lead sector. Because there's just something about being around you guys, being able to shake your hand in Puerto Rico and chat with you for 5 to 10 minutes, just pick your brain. Yeah. There's something to be said about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Well, man, it's great to have you here on the journey. Super proud of you in Kayla's success, man. You got to keep patting yourself on the back and keep running, man. You're blazing a trail to only be in the business, 12, 15 months on the retail side is significant. So I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage our listeners too. Hey, and and I was just thinking about, if you're saying, what's Call Stars? What's the plan? How do I join Freedom Club? Like, we can help you with all that. Go to freedomplanningcall.com. That's what I love about this, Tyler, is we get the opportunity to be a community that just links arms and helps each other continue to take the next steps. And thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your trust in the team and just following the plan. We talked about it this morning on Breakfast Club, that people aren't testing the plan. The plan's testing if you'll do the work, and you're doing the work. Your results are absolutely fantastic. Thrilled to highlight you today, and excited to continue to be on the journey, man.
Thank you, Steve. Hey, can I give a couple shout outs real quick?
Do it, brother. Of course you can.
Hey, Doug Cataract, thank you so much.
Yes.
Sorry it took me so long to get going, but I really appreciate you and loved everything you do. And same with you, Paul and Andrea. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Kayla, love you. Keep working hard.
Hey, and what's great is Doug and Paul and Andrea have been your coaches here at the Freedom Club, and so absolutely love it. They're remarkable coaches. Kayla, proud of you, girl, for what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work, and we're excited to see your growth. So everybody, if you're listening, just remember this. It's not going to be perfect as you move. Just keep moving to the process. Keep your sales activity, and then let sales fulfillment continue to grow as you're bringing in the business. Don't stop doing what has moved the needle the most. Focus on the 20% that gives 80% of the results. And remember this, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.